Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer here. So I thought I would do a little video showcasing my Napoleonic French army, sort of early war. I'm going to use these in the Peninsula, but I also use them to face off against my Austrians, who are in another video. I'm just going to go through unit by unit. So it's largely Perry's, with a few extra bits and pieces which I'll cover off as I go through. So really enjoyed painting these. I'll get into it in more detail as I go on, but it was actually pretty good value as well, which isn't always important, but it sometimes is to me. So I used the Perry boxes. They've got like a kind of a March Fusilier box and a skirmishing box. So buying two of those pretty much bought most of this army. So the Grenadiers, the Fusiliers, the Voltigeurs, and a few of the kind of bits and bobs I've used for the deployment pack markers as well. So just getting two of those boxes pretty much got me 3/4 of this army, and then obviously a metal cannon and a few characters as well, just to flesh out the force. So I'll go through them in turn then. So I'm actually thematically, I have an Osprey book for Aspen and Essling, and there was an engagement there around the granary. So the Austrians I've got are roughly based around forces that fought around there, and same with the French as well. So this is the 67th foot, or the 67th Line Regiment, which is why you'll see some of the ones with covered shakos. I've got a 6-7 on there, which took me quite challenging to paint, and we've also got the eagle as well. I've gone for the blue pom-poms on the Fusilier just because of aesthetics. I went for purple to start with, and it looked a little bit muddy, so I've changed that. But yeah, anyway, so this is the force for Sharpe practice. So as you can see, the Fusiliers are mounted on bases for 8, so 8 man per unit. So I've got 4 blocks of 8 there. So gives you a good size force for Sharpe practice. I painted absolutely everything in both of those boxes from Perry. So as you can see, we have 4 lots of 8, gives you everything you need. Got a really interesting sergeant figure there. I'll just pick some of these up actually. He's great. He looks good on the end of the line, so I'll kind of use him as a level 1 leader. We've got an officer here. Use him as a level 2 sort of 3 leader, so he can take charge of the big block of infantry. And I did all the extra bits as well. So we have a banner bearer, a couple of sergeants with the halberds as well, who protect the banner. Got the obligatory sapper. That's actually a great sculpt. Let's pick him out there. Even sculpted the stuff on his arm, which I really like. Just gives a bit of variety to the force. I sometimes use him actually in the game, but without the rules for it, just because it lets the force stand out a bit. Really enjoyed doing the drummer as well. So I went to town on a bit of detail on this guy. Yeah, there's my drummer. That's the Fusilier, there's the backbone of your force. And the bit I was really excited to paint here, I mean, who doesn't like Grenadiers with bearskins? I know these are kind of dressed for a parade ground really, but in terms of on the battlefield, they're really interesting, great dynamic poses to take them from the side there. Look like they're charging forwards as Grenadiers should be, taking a position. So 2 blocks of 8 of those. As you can see, we've got a sergeant. I really love this pose actually. Kind of moving forward, but keeping everyone in line alongside him, which is really cool. And then we have a Grenadier, again, full dress. Really nice sculpt, that one. Oops. Pop it back in there. That's my Grenadiers. Adds a bit of power to the force. Next unit of infantry. So I managed to get 3 groups of 6 light infantry, Voltigeurs. Most people go for the yellow and green for epaulettes and plumes for Voltigeurs, but I wanted to do something a bit different. I'm pretty sure I saw this colour scheme in that Osprey I mentioned earlier as well. I think they really pop, and again, fantastic dynamic poses. So much variety there. The guy biting a cartridge at the back's really good. Obviously lots of guys actually shooting, and this chap here picking a cartridge from his pouch behind him. So that gives you lots of options in the game. 3 lots of Voltigeurs. In terms of their leaders, so I was making the best use of the box set, and I've got a A trumpeter's one of the leaders. Obviously, a trumpeter wouldn't be a leader necessarily anyway, but he is in this instance because he's a bit of an unusual figure. So he leads this group of 6. I've also got this. This is actually a metal sculpt, one of the few metal ones in infantrymen I've got. I can't remember where I got him from. I think he's actually Brigade Games. I think he was free with when I bought some other stuff, and I literally had him in the bits box forever, just waiting for his opportunity to be deployed. You can see he's got the flank company epaulets. So I thought, yeah, what a great individual characterful figure. So he's going to lead one group, and then the final one, maybe one of my favourite officers from the box set. So this is the Voltigeur officer, a really cool dynamic pose with his sword as well. So he's the sort of maybe a level 2 leader. So that's my infantry. I went for the obligatory cannon, so there it is, Perry miniatures. I think it's £12 actually. Just I think the big ones look really cool when they get on the battlefield as well. So there they are. In terms of a leader, so this is again something I've had in the bits box forever. He's I forget his name, but he's one of the senior officers from the Waterloo set. He's kind of like an Imperial Guard colonel or something, but I think he's got so much character, mounted as well, which is quite cool for a leader for the entire force. So we've got a really big game on. Bring this guy as a level 3 leader. He looks fantastic. Physic. So I always, well, not always, but quite often take the medic. So this is from Front Ranks. They've got like a Georgian gentleman pack. I think he looks pretty cool. So I use him as my physic. And there was a dog in that pack as well, so he takes his dog with him. Other things, so deployment points, again, using the, as I normally face off against Austrians, I've got this deployment point is one of the last figures from the Perry Plastics box set. I think that's really cool. And I'm using these as kind of prisoners. These are from, there's like so they're Perry Austrian artillerymen, and there's a box set of kind of like hangers-on or helpers for artillery units, which I used as cannon crew in my Austrian army, which you'll see in my other video. But being somebody who likes to use as much as possible, I've actually picked these out and used them on the deployment point. So they look, to me, they look like prisoners, and the sergeant's kind of taking charge of them. So I like that. Another one, raiding the bits box. So this is a Foundry miniature, which is quite small. It's from some kind of characters pack, but I've gone to town with a crazy uniform and I think it looks pretty cool. Also put some barrels on there, shako with a blue pom-pom of my force, a backpack, and a rifle, a musket, some barrels, and that was pretty cool. Nice deployment point. And the final one, I don't really use this in the army, but this is something I painted a long time ago when my eyes were a little bit better than they are today. So I believe that's Marshal Massena. I know he's a marshal. Really enjoyed painting this. I could probably use this instead of this guy as my force commander. And I've also double based him with a Foundry light infantryman. You can tell he's light because he's got the blue trousers as well as the jacket. Yeah, I painted the eyeballs on these. This was a long time ago. Is that going to zoom in? There we go. Yeah, super cool. So that's my French force. Again, I painted these for that Aspen and Essling Osprey. Let's get a full picture there, which I really liked. And yeah, they face off against my Austrians, but also as they're kind of early war, and I've used some of the early uniforms like the long plumes and stuff and the bearskins. I can use them against my British. So I've got a British force I've started painting. You'll see my light dragoons in my last video, and actually we'll do a quick sneak peek now on my British. So this is what I've been painting yesterday. So I had some groups of flank company troops all painted, all based, undercoated, ready to go. I'm going to split them up in 2 groups. So this is a group of 10. So I've got the 8 at the back. You've got the 8 guys. That's going to be the first group of 8 grenadiers. I've got an officer and a sergeant, and then at the back you can see the next group of 8 that I'm ready to paint next. Yeah, so they're kind of coming along quite nicely. Obviously a long way to go with them. I've got the cavalry in place, but yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. So back to the big French force. I've been quite excited to share this actually, but I think the only thing an army's never finished, so what would I do next? Well, I absolutely need some cavalry, and I've been umming and ahhing over, I like the fact you can dismount your cavalry in Sharpe practice, so that's been my kind of deciding factor. So I'm thinking of going for something like dragoons or chasseurs. I mean, I'd ideally like chasseurs, but I can't find anyone who does dismounted ones, so if anyone's seen dismounted chasseurs, please put something in the comments. I'll be really grateful for that. Alternatively, it will be dragoons, so I'll go with the Perry dragoons and maybe some brigade gains dismounted dragoons as well. But yeah, that's it. So more to come. So I do have another Sharpe practice force. I've got a Bavarian force which I'll share maybe next week, and I'll carry on with the work in progresses on my British. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.